Thank you, Mr. Gist, Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Joseph Skerrit, my dear Minister, Honorable Johnson Drygo, Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries, Honorable Rosalind Paul, and representative for this constituency, very enterprising person, and of course our chair. Let me welcome also members of cabinet that are here, the permanent secretaries, our friends from the FAO, and of course our Director General of CADI. Let me also welcome our gentle sir, my good friend for a long time, Mr. Jude Joseph, who led us in prayer. And also, of course, everyone. It's a delight to address you this morning. And importantly, the media who is here, we are sure that Dominica will feel what is happening here today as a very important activity. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted, of course, and to be this is a very important gathering. A lot of minds are here. Persons that can make decisions at all levels are here. And so this, and as the speaker before me in her welcome address said, we are at the crossroads and you are important in that endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a short presentation really, and it just basically talks about agriculture. It's very important to us. And we are going to talk about Erika, what it has done to us and the situation post-Erika, the challenges presently confronting the sector, pursuing, of course, key objectives, and the future outlook for agriculture. Our agriculture, ladies and gentlemen, and I use the term our because it doesn't belong to one person. It doesn't belong just to the sector. It belongs to everybody. And of course, it is very across the sectors of Dominica. And so, our is very apt. And we clearly know that has never changed, that the sector is vital for food and nutrition. It is said that eating is an agricultural act. It's not a biological act. It provides incomes for the farmers and their farm families. Of course, it provides employment, both on farms and out of the farms. And it importantly brings foreign exchange earnings. All this leads, of course, to poverty alleviation, social cohesiveness and balance, overall growth, and economic development in Dominica. These goals never change. These goals are very important to us. Right. Agriculture over the past 5 years, or 3 years, let's say, we have it over the past 5 years, up to 2014, has shown a steady incline, particularly so for all other crops, except in some instances for bananas and plantains. And we can well appreciate where we are today, given the scenario, particularly of black cicotoca in the banana industry. And so the government's action in platforming other crops, fruit crops, root crops, and all of the non-traditional crops we do, shows a steady incline, and according to the CSO, continues to rise in 2014. We will again appreciate that in 2015, given the advent of Erika, we will see a slight dip. And importantly too, this happens every time there is a natural disaster or an occurrence, there is a dip. 2007, because of Dean, we declined. 2009 into 2010, because of this massive drought that we had for several months, we showed, of course, a dip as well. One thing we can conclude that the interventions by government in all areas have shown steady incline. We are proposing for bananas to level off and support the farmers, of course, to ensure that we, through interventions now, we have started the plantlet distribution. We have started giving support to bananas now. with the plant-led program. And so we are going to change that decline. We are seeing substantial support for farmers with fertilizers, with lime support, and then we will ensure that that one particular subsector increases. Ladies and gentlemen, post-Erika. Erika has not been a good visit to us. And we've estimated the loss from Erika to be at about $100 million. Crops, ladies and gentlemen, suffered, as you see here, about a $13 million destruction. And if we have to take into consideration our friends in Petit Savan and the bay leaf, and across in Makushui, the sugarcane, this has contributed significantly to the rise in crop damage. But across the board, across the country, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the south, looking at the central, looking at the western agricultural region, which spans the west coast, we have had substantial loss from commodities and livestock. Livestock stands at $336, and if we include the beekeeping, it's about $215,000. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you see infrastructure, $1.9 million, and feeder roads at a whooping $45 million. Feeder roads, we say $45 million. This, of course, would be clarified by the more able people, but if we look based our assessment on damage that was taken, damage or assessments that was done when we were looking at the BAM project and the feeder roads, we are saying that all the roads that we platformed under the BAM and more, we had about $30 million in damage. Given Erika, all of these roads have suffered further loss and more of the roads. So about $45 million, but a more expert public works assessment will tell us. We do not believe we are so far off. Other farm infrastructure, ladies and gentlemen, $247,000. Farm vehicles, $490,000. About 11 farmers lost their vehicles. We've added damage to some of them. Materials and storage, fertilizers, feed, inputs, $23 million. On-farm irrigation, storage tanks, pumps, etc., $76,000. Agro-processing, if we look at the outfit in Makushui, if we look at the loss of the bay oil facility at Petit Savan, if we look at virgin coconut oil enterprises in Kolibistri, in Pishle, a whooping $7 million. And of course, land. That again is something that is closely looked at, and in discussions with Lands and Surveys is something that has to be ascertained. But, ladies and gentlemen, if we look at relocation of Petit Savan, and the farmers cannot work in Petit Savan and go live wherever we might relocate them. So if we have to cost that land as something that moves away from production, that's where some of that cost is hiked up. You don't evacuate a community and tell the farmers to go back and work. The situation is they are at present landless if we look at it in this context. Ladies and gentlemen, post-Erika, a number of 1,000 farmers laid claims at the gardens. We looked at about 871 males and 157 females. Children in those households of about 900 was about 517, below 15 years. They were children who, of course, have to be provided for. Claimants to crops, 923, and claimants to livestock, just 105. Ladies and gentlemen, we are today at Erika, post-Erika, and our challenges are compounded. Though some of them existed before, presently they are compounded. At the farm level, we will continue in the short term to suffer because of production and productivity. This is a major challenge. At the institutional level, ladies and gentlemen, Institutional meaning at all layers of our economy. Public perception and expectations, sometimes misguided, sometimes unfairly attributed, but it exists. And of course, if we look at what we say can harm us, that is a very important challenge here. Responsiveness to standards, regulations, trade regimes. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a change in the world for some time. The global context has changed. Dominica has to be part of that action. And so it becomes a challenge when people cannot match up, cannot be in tandem with these changes. Responses to new technology. You're going too fast, Red. Responses to new technology. Newer technology come on board, ladies and gentlemen, and if farmers are slow to adopt, if we are slow to transfer, that has created challenges for us. We have issues referring to climate change, and Erika is a clear example. Dean was, the drought was, Hurricane David was, a rising food import bill. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, coupled with that will be biodiversity loss, degradation. Farmers, you're here today, and we have to address you particularly. You do business, and you are affected by all of these things. Land degradation and the issue of land for agriculture, as we have pressures into other sectors coming in, tourism, sports, and housing. There is much pressure on land for agriculture. Private sector investments, exposure to external shocks, aging farmer population. And you're growing older, some of you farmers, albeit gloriously so, but you are the ones at the forefront of our production. Increasing of numbers of people, ladies and gentlemen, in our country is suffering from communicable diseases. Anything we do post Erika have to be in light of the number of persons in our society that suffer from communicable diseases and particularly obesity. In the region, Dominica, it's not a boast though. Dominica is highlighted as a country probably leading in obesity statistics. So ladies and gentlemen, no matter what our challenges are post-Erika, our ministry, our government, is committed to support our farmers. Our ministry is committed to find solutions to the problems that exist. Our ministry is ready to create opportunities. And of course, importantly, the government has the backing, or our ministry has the backing of our government. We're going to build confidence in farmers. We're going to build confidence in the farmers who are root crop farmers, who are poultry farmers, who are pork farmers, who are banana farmers, who are any farmers in this country. If you're a woman, a young person, an older farmer, a growing farmer, a just came in farmer, we will support you. All of this, ladies and gentlemen, is for building resilience and, of course, to have a better future. And as such, the ministry post-Erika will pursue opportunities, will pursue innovation, will pursue excellence. We have to do business better. It cannot be business as usual. And of course, we will pursue sustainability from a biodiversity standpoint and from a viability standpoint. We have to improve our extension and farmer relations. At the forefront of production, at the forefront of research, at the forefront of transfer is extension, ladies and gentlemen. We have to improve on our strategic program alignment. And we thank, of course, agencies like the FAO, like ICA, like CADI, and all others who continue to support us. It's good that we have FAO here this week, and we are not only going to look at a country programming framework in light of Erika's advent, we are also going to look at our strategic plan. And that too will be supported by an APP program, a project, that looks at the national policy. We will have a marrying of these two actions to ensure that we get things done better. Ladies and gentlemen, we are building. We are building on the gains that we've made before, and we will build better post-Erika. we will look at our institutional capacity at all levels. And so, two, we will look at partnerships. We will strengthen our partnerships with our collaborators, with people who support us. And of course, we must create a new image, both at the farm level and of course at the institutional level. And I'm hoping, Mr. Prime Minister, and I'm looking forward to moving away from the gardens and have a place that reflects a thriving, vibrant agriculture that houses everybody. Mr. Minister, I'm not looking for a place or an office for you, but I'm saying we should look for a place that depicts from top to the very bottom and so a vibrant ministry. So I'm looking forward to the day when we can be relocated from the gardens. The ministry, ladies and gentlemen, we are pursuing some very ACT pillars. We want to call them production pillars. And so first and foremost, we have all heard about the work we're doing in pork and poultry. We have all heard about the abattoir being built. We have all heard about the investments put in the AIU to build farmer confidence in investments in pork and poultry. Ladies and gentlemen, the abattoir is to be commissioned and ready for your use. The financing arrangements through the AIU and other relevant institutions is being platformed at this time that you farmers of this country can take advantage of. You will produce safe and healthy pork and poultry for the Dominican consumer and of course realize your income. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to work with bananas and plantains. This crop, presents a livelihood for farmers of this country. Our export of bananas and plantains over the past 5 years have been on average about $13 million. And so we continue to push bananas and plantains. The government, again, has given substantial support in the past 2 years. And of course, with the support from the BAM, the Banana Accompanying Measures, this has been well executed. And so bananas will continue to thrive. Our projections with bananas over the next 3 years, and plantains, points to about 2,500 acres of productive and fields that will be of competitive orientation. Under the BAM, and as of course negotiated by our government with the European Union, and it must be said that under the BAM, Dominica is enjoying a greater share of the regional pie in terms of funding. We will continue to support banana and plantain farmers with fertilizers, with oils for Sikatoka management, and for chemical intervention. Ladies and gentlemen, before I spoke about the incline of root crops as really holding the sector together. And so we will continue to support root crops, and root crop farmers across the island over the past 5 years have enjoyed and will continue to enjoy support given under the horticulture program, support given from investment from the Aid Bank or the NDFD to further their root crop enterprises. Coffee and cocoa expansion, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thanks to the government of Venezuela and the government of Dominica, we have built a new plant in Portsmouth, a new processing plant. This, ladies and gentlemen, is to add value to coffee. And you, the farmers, are the ones who will plant that coffee, ultimately. We are already looking at farmers across the island, where they are in terms of elevation and location, and we have drawn the listing of farmers already that can help with coffee. Later, you will hear a presentation on coffee and cocoa, so I will not preempt so much of that. Small ruminants, ladies and gentlemen. Small ruminants is easy to rear. Small ruminants is easy to grow, of course. And it always laments, I am always lamenting that we have to bring a pound of goat and a pound of sheep from New Zealand or from Argentina. I do not believe that this is something we should do. So, ladies and gentlemen, with support from the government, driven by the ministry, for the next 5 years, we are going to increase our small ruminant population. simple. We are going to work with sheep and goats because they are easily fed. We are going to put them in systems that will, of course, continue to bring results to the economy and to farmers. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we also do white potatoes. And you have heard recently that we are getting support from the Canadians to buy seeds. We are doing pineapples, and we are working with NEPA, and everybody who wants to be a member of NEPA can apply to NEPA for membership. NEPA will support you, and the government will be pushing behind you. The ministry will be executing with you. Ginger, ladies and gentlemen, the demand for ginger in Antigua is about $1 million. And that I was recently told. But where is it coming from? Some of it from Dominica, but this creates an opportunity for us. And so, moving forward next year, we are going to put ginger in the south because they've known to do ginger well. It's already being done in the north, but we will expand and we will give the farmers the requisite support. Onion, ladies and gentlemen, it's an interesting crop. Last year we did 5 acres of onions. We worked with the farmers on the north, we worked with farmers in Salisbury, we worked with farmers in Mount Prosper, and we will continue to do onions. We believe that the 600,000 pounds of onion we bring into Dominica should not be done. Antigua does 100 acres of onion annually. What does Antigua have on us? We're saying we have the farmers, they're ready to work, we are bringing in the requisite equipment, we are already importing seeds, and we're going to work with farmers to ensure we reduce on that importation of onion as it is. Coconuts, ladies and gentlemen, CADI is supporting us, the International Trade Center is supporting us with coconuts, and we see, of course, the potential with coconuts. Water, virgin coconut oil, our demand we cannot meet in the regional markets and beyond. So coconuts already will be given support. Later, we have a global climate change alliance project that will seek to ensure that we have the right nurseries for coconuts. We will look at germplasm. We will look at farmer cultivation. We want to establish about 200 acres of new tall coconuts and about 200 acres of water nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some of the things that we are doing. Vegetables, exotic fruits, we will continue to grow. We will continue to expand. We will continue to do our soursops, our guava, even greater. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, post Erika, the government, the ministry, will cooperate with our farmers to ensure they do business well. Whether you're a livestock or crop farmer, we will continue to cooperate with you. We will work with you. Of course, there is the commissioning of the National Abattoir. Shortly, we have already brought in the poultry or the chicks to grow for the testing. We will commission the coffee plant. We will provide support through the AIU, the Agricultural Investment Unit. We will platform well-targeted investment program, incentive programs, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that the farmers who do business will get the support. And we don't want farmers, ladies and gentlemen, who will talk and not walk. We need farmers who are ready to walk. We will also ensure that the right policies and strategies are platformed, as I said. We will support from a public sector leadership, the private sector. We will work with all partners, local, regional, and international. And local, of course, is our banks, the Bureau of Standard, Ministry of Trade, Dexia, the ports, the customs, all of them, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure, as I said firstly, that the farmers can do business well. We will ensure, ladies and gentlemen, that we involve youth and women. And as I said, 157 women were affected from Erika, and we have to platform support to get them going again. Some of them are single-heading households singly. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to look at our feeder roads. And post-Erika, we are looking at broadening the amount budgeted for feeder roads under the ban. So, to ensure that farmers have proper roads to drive on and to get their commodities out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to serve our farmers. It's what we have to do. And so we will improve on our image. We want to portray a farmer who can send his children to any school. We want to portray a farmer who can live in any house. We want to portray a farmer who could enjoy life as anybody in our community. We want to portray an institution to support our farmers that is well-trained, that is tooled, that is able to be confident to provide that service. We want to develop sustainable food system. These things has to be the pillar and the corner of our strategies. Our food systems have to be able to provide and mitigate against obesity. We have to reduce on the amount of food we bring into this country. Most of it sometimes are unhealthy. Most of them sometimes are preserved, and most of them sometimes do not help us. We will support activities, ladies and gentlemen, and provide added opportunities as we move along. In all the crops, in all the livestock enterprises, we have opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, we will try new things, we will innovate. And there are some crops that we're looking towards in innovations. We will do that. Okay, our goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to secure a future for all our farming community, all our farm families. We will invest in infrastructure continuously so. We will invest in transportation. The government is already looking at regional transportation. We will pursue some market opportunity for in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and the Bureau of Standards. We will continue to develop livestock. We will secure foreign support, and we will build a strong agricultural sector. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a choice to support agriculture, to develop, or not. We can be ones who are associated with actions or not. We farmers, we want you to be involved. Farmers, you must be involved. You can decide to be involved or not. Farmers, politicians, cabinet personnel, agro-processors, people who work with the Ministry of Trade, FAO, everybody, we need all hands on board. We can decide to have all hands on board or not. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to pursue, of course, an agriculture that Dominica needs, that is current, that is strategic, that is innovative, that is farmer-led, that has farmers' involvement. We will continue, of course, to ensure that we realize what I said at first, the economic growth and, of course, food for our people and what is really required. As I said, everyone must be involved to meet our targets. Agricultural development in Dominica, ladies and gentlemen, is our target. And so our hotels, our schools, our homes, consumers, everybody, the public servants, the bankers, the private sector must be on board. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a number of questions you may want to ask me after. You can do that. That is the end of the presentation, and I will say thank you very much for listening to me. God bless.
Thank you very much.